Baby boomers. They always rub into their grandchildren's faces that their life was so much harder for them compared to that of millennials, and that life in this time comes with so many privileges and opportunities. But does it really? Do millennials have it harder than previous generations? Baby boomers might say that they had a very rough life by living through the painful and uncomfortable situations, such as working in factories and farms, getting punishments at school or home, or not having proper healthcare, but that's only very short-term health problems. Physical health impact. Wounds that would only last a day or two. Wounds that faded away. Furthermore, mental or psychological health concerns were not very common, and people were ignorant and apathetic about the mental health and well-being in previous generations. Or as the old saying goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. On the other hand, millennials are never quite content with themselves, and they shape their lives based on the opinions of people on the internet. This form of media also leads to many teenagers believing that they're never good enough, that they're never beautiful or handsome enough, and in turn this brings down their self-esteem. Millennials stress so much about their self-image that it leads to depression, anxiety, mental breakdowns, psychological health impacts, the kind that doesn't fade away but scars and torments them for life. And all because of friends that they don't have strong connections with, those that they have only created a line of friendship over the internet, ones that will not be there in their time of need. Moreover, previous generations didn't have to deal with this kind of issue to such an extent. Previous generations only interacted with a small pool of friends at a time. However, for millennials, that pool has now become an ocean. Financial stress is another significant issue that faces millennials. There are a number of issues that millennials face today that did not exist in past generations. These include the globally competitive job markets, student loan debts, building wealth, and buying houses. Job employment is becoming scarce for millennials. Paychecks are getting lower as the world population rises from 2.6 billion in 1951 to 7.7 billion in 2019. Furthermore, this puts millennials in competition for jobs with everyone in their generation. A report from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis conducted in 2016 found that from the Great Recession, wealth levels have decreased by 34%, giving millennials the title of the lost generation. This decrease in wealth is thought to have been caused by rising living costs, student loan debts, and underemployment. Additionally, living costs have also risen since the time of baby boomers. House rents have increased by 46% since 1960s according to the student loan era. Moreover, to buy a house, they would need to pay a 20% down payment for the house. And in some cases, it can take millennials over a decade to save that much money, according to a report by Smart Asset. Millennials pay 73% more for their houses than those living in the 1960s, leaving millennials with the lowest record of home ownership. Another living cost issue is the ever-rising student loan debt. College tuitions have almost doubled since the mid-1980s, resulting in an average student loan debt of $24,168, according to a Business Insider report. To add to this, the number of millennials caring for their aging parents have increased by 27%. According to the interview by Scott Williams by Ansbury, meaning that the average cost of elder care can range from $25,300 a year for adult daycare to $128,300 a year for a private room in a nursing home. And since the average life expectancy in the time of baby boomers have risen from 65 years old to 85 years of age, it means that millennials will have to look after their aging parents longer and spend more money for them. So in short, do millennials have it harder than previous generations? Yes.